Have you ever felt like something always seems to go wrong right before you achieve something great? I'm here to tell you that oftentimes when our biggest challenges comes, that means that our biggest blessings are on its way. Speaking from my own personal life experiences, some of the biggest, hardest times of my life has came at a time when God was about to grant me the biggest blessings of my life. I know that sometimes we want to give up on the journey and we often doubt the vision. We doubt our goals. We even sometimes doubt God because what we're seeing or experiencing often is too hard to bear at times. But I want to remind you that God says we'll never be tempted beyond our measure, and also that no weapon formed against you will ever prosper. Challenges often come before our biggest breakthroughs. And if you're in a season where you're experiencing some difficult stuff, whether you are having these negative thoughts, maybe you're having these external experiences and things that are happening outside of you that you don't feel like you can necessarily control. The enemy tries to use all of these things, any of these things, to deter you, also to make you feel less than yourself, and to make you feel like there's no hope along the way. But what I want you to remember is the bigger the attack, the bigger the blessing. And sometimes we can't see it while we're going through it. But if you've ever looked at your life experiences from now, even back then, when I was experiencing the hardest stuff, on the other side of that was something really, really great. So if you're in a season where you're going through these experiences, just hang in there and stay in there because God is going to bless you on the other side of that. Oftentimes, the enemy knows the direction God is trying to take us. He knows that he's bringing us out of something usually that's not ideal for us. God is trying to progressively make us better. So if the enemy can, he will try to destroy your vision. He will try to destroy your goals. He will try to destroy you if he can, because he never wants you to make it there. He never wants you to see the brighter side of things. He never wants you to see that there's better for you. He wants you to give up in the middle of this so that he can be happy that you're not continuing on. He can be happy that he disrupted something, and that he can be happy that you eventually won't reach the goals that God has set for your life. I think a lot of us aren't prepared for the attacks. We know that things are going to happen, challenges are going to come. We know that we're going to unfortunately experience things in this life that makes us feel uncomfortable, and it disrupts our comfort just for a little bit. But I think if you learn how to deal with attacks and understand how to come to God during those moments, God can give you peace in the midst of it, and he can actually restore your faith in the midst of a seemingly negative situation. So what you have to do is keep praying to God, stay in prayer, and understand that God hears you. He knows what you're going through, but he allows these things to happen to develop us into the person that can stand the test. It develops our character, our mentality, our strength, physically and mentally. And you need all of that, the full armor of God, to take on these challenges. Because if the enemy can stop you, then he can stop everyone that's connected to you. He can stop everyone that's meant to be attached to you, who's attached to your calling. And if you stop now, then they'll never get the message, the word, the testimony, anything that they need in order for them to do what they need to do as well. And you are supposed to be a part of their journey. But if the enemy can stop you beforehand, then he's won. And you don't want that. You don't want that blood on your hands, pretty much. The harder that it gets, the closer that you are. So when you start having that really, really tough season or those tough moments, when you're sitting there and you're praying to God, like, I can't do this anymore. I don't know. You got to step in. You got to do something because I can't. That's usually when God is like, okay, you need to learn this. Once I want you to pay attention. Once you're aware of what's going on, then I can bless you. Then I can give you the thing. Then I can be there for you to help you through the season. Not every time that I've prayed has God literally lifted his hand off of my situation, but every time I've prayed, he has given me peace in some way, whether it's a reminder of something like, a reminder that I'm bigger than this, I'm stronger than this can't take me out. It's the enemy trying to steal my joy, my peace. The enemy tries to destroy everything, steal, kill, and destroy. So if he can, then what is the purpose of what I'm doing? So I have to know that while I'm going through my seasons and I'm learning with God, that God is also teaching me something. God needs me to learn something. If I'm in this season, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? I have to start asking, what am I supposed to learn? What is this situation teaching me? What is God teaching me in these moments? And a lot of times when I went through hard seasons, especially in life and just dealing with certain situations that I felt like I didn't need to experience. But when I look at it now, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. Like, what I learned from certain situations has taught me life lessons that I cannot live without today. So you also have to think of the things that you're going through and what it's preparing you for, and ask yourself, where are you going? Where is God taking you? Where is he taking you from and positioning you to? And I know that with the journey and with the calling, there's going to be tests. There's going to be hard seasons and hard situations that I have to navigate through. But the reason why I lean on God so much and I allow him to show me and reveal it to me is because I can't do it on my own. And I know you guys can't do it on your own either. So you have to know, if you've been trying to do it on your own, you haven't been successful. Maybe it feels like an everlasting season that it hasn't came to an end yet. You got to lean on God, and you got to know that God is going to direct your steps. You can't direct your own. You don't know what's best for you. You don't even necessarily know what you're supposed to be learning in these situations, but you need to allow God to reveal that to you. I need you to remember, if it feels really tough right now, it's because there's something amazing around the corner. God has something that he's going to reveal to you at the perfect time, but he needs you to get this lesson. He needs you to understand this test. And although the devil tries to stop us in our tracks, we cannot allow it. You can't afford to let the devil delay your purpose, your calling, your vision, your goals any longer. He's done that for too long. He's kept you stuck for too long. He's kept you depressed for too long. He's tried to take you out many times and many occasions in many different ways. And you have to be aware of the different tactics that he uses. He uses doubt, he uses fear, he uses people, he uses situations, and he uses things outside of you to affect you and affect your life goals, your life purpose, and affect your route in general. And you have to just be more aware of that. So I want you to know that even though it may seem hard right now, there may be challenges that you feel like are too big for you, they're not too big for God. And the more that you lean on God and give him all of that. When I talk to God, I literally say, God, you know what I'm asking before I even ask. You know what I'm saying before I even say it. You know what I need before I even ask you for it. But I just want you to know, this is what I'm feeling right now. And even though I can't put it into words fully, God, you know what I'm saying. I need help with this. I need to let go of this. And this thing is bothering me. So can you please help me figure out what I need to do? What tools do I need to lean on? Scriptures, whatever, to help me through this moment, because I feel like it's too hard for me. You can literally be real with God and talk to him just like that. I mean, he's all knowing anyway. He just needs you to communicate with him more. Have that personal relationship and express those things in a way of like you're just talking to a friend, because he is your friend. Like you're just expressing how you feel. Like, you ever just talked in your head and you just think you're talking to yourself? Think of that as you talking to God, and start using that as an opportunity for you to talk to God and allow him in your mind, in your thoughts, in your experience, because he just needs you to lean on him. So when the attacks come, know that the blessing is bigger. When the things get hard, the blessing is much stronger, better, and it's going to equip you for where you're going. In my hardest seasons in my life, when I look back, right after that was some of my biggest blessings. If I would have gave up back then, I wouldn't have what I have now. If I would have decided to quit, to give up, to change, to remove myself, to leave, whatever, I wouldn't have what I have right now. The enemy is so conniving how he works in his mind, the way he uses certain situations and tactics and uses yourself against you. Mentally, I wasn't prepared for the test. Mentally back then, I wasn't prepared for those situations to go wrong. I wasn't prepared for my life to be flipped upside down. But God had to prepare me, because I can't go through that again. Because I had to go through that and I learned those life experiences, it prepared me for today. I won't go through that again, because I have the test. I mean, I have the tools necessary. I have the relationship with God. I understand that prayer works. I know that if I continue going through my journey and I allow God to guide me and work through me, the tests are going to come. But I'm equipped for the test, and I know that God will never leave me in a place for too long. And if I'm going through a season, if I'm going through a test, if I'm going through these trials, it's something that God needs me to learn. So I hope that you take that with you, and I hope that you got something out of it. Comment below what part helped you the most today. And just remember that if the attacks are big, the blessing is even bigger.